It is very difficult to find competent and motivated workers. You need to be here to oversee everything that's going on. There's a whole different system here. Understanding your market, understanding your niche, understanding how things work here is what's really gonna help you overall when you're doing business here in Ghana. Hello guys, and welcome to this new video. It's your girl Gabby Mack, and welcome to my channel. If this is your very first time tuning in, welcome. We talk about everything Ghana here, business in Ghana, and as you can see in today's title of the video, we are definitely talking about business and traveling within Ghana and the overall just lifestyle here in Ghana. So welcome. And for my returning subscribers, thank you guys for always tuning in and showing love. I really appreciate you guys. I would not be doing this if it wasn't for you guys constantly tuning into my videos. So I really appreciate you. And before I jump into anything else, please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, make sure you click that subscription button now and make sure you click the notification bell so anytime I drop a new video, you guys will be aware of it. We are talking about doing business in Ghana and a few things that you guys should know before starting. Now, the essence of this video is because I am almost a year to starting my business here in Ghana, and I kind of want to give you guys, I am going to give you guys feedback on my overall process and how it's been in this year. So get your pens, get your books ready, and let's get talking. Now, before we jump any further into today's discussion, I want to thank my sponsors, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this video and supporting this channel. Guys, I cannot tell you that I would be lying to you guys if I said I was able to go through this year of doing business without actually talking to someone. Guys, it has been super helpful that I have my therapist there to talk to throughout this. And I think when people think of therapy, they only think of maybe love stuff or like past trauma and things like that. But even within my business, I've managed to go through this whole year talking to my therapist about my business, how I started it out, the ups and downs and all of that. And it was nice to just talk it through, because sometimes you have a lot of things in your mind and you worried about certain things not going through, or maybe you have hit certain milestones and you just like to talk with your therapist or talk to somebody about it. And that's what I did through my whole journey. I was able to talk to my therapist because this was a big significant thing that happened in my life. Uprooting my whole life to come here to Ghana to start this business. It was like a leap of faith, and sometimes I just needed to just navigate and talk through some things, and it was nice that my therapist was there. So if you think about therapy, don't only just think about past trauma and love issues and things like that. You can talk even about business. So I would definitely recommend you guys to look into BetterHelp services. I've been using it for over a year now, and it's been really awesome, and I hope you guys take advantage of using my code to get a discount off your first month. And yes, let's jump right into it. Alright, so as the title suggests, we are talking about doing business in Ghana. The few things I think you guys should keep in mind when you are starting to even just think about wanting to do business in Ghana, or if you've already passed that point and you are ready to move down here, or you're ready to just come and start your business, I want you guys to take a note of these few things. So for my people that are starting like right from the beginning, maybe you have an idea, maybe you visited Ghana, or you watched some of my videos or other people's videos talking about businesses you can start, and you're interested and wanted to come here to start business. Of course, the number one thing you need is money, guys. Money. You need money. Now, I know I've talked to some people in the past, and they've asked about like loans and taking loans here. I will not suggest that at all. I don't even think, honestly, that's even really an option on the table, because loans here in Ghana, very super high interest rate. Now, if you're going to take a loan for maybe wherever you're coming from, that's a different story. I don't know too much details in terms of loan, because personally, I just took my savings and put it together with my partners to start the business. So that's something here that you really need to think about when you're wanting to start business here. Most people here, they get their capital. Either you're taking a loan personally from somebody, but rarely do you ever hear people actually taking loans from the bank to start business, because the interest rates are just super outrageous and super high. So keep in mind to bring your own money. I think this is as simple and short as I can put it. So you definitely want to do your research as in how much it would take to start this business. And I would always say up that amount and just save your money and come here to do your business. Don't think about loans, okay? Okay, so let's move on from that. All right, so the next thing that you guys should really consider and understand is that inflation is a big deal here. Like, inflation is a big thing, and it can really affect your business. So if you are going to start business, you really need to keep in mind that inflation is a thing here. Like, I mean, back in the States, you hear inflation and you see a few things go up and down, but it's like nothing so drastic as how inflation can be here in Ghana. I'll give you an example. Like, when we started out the business, the dollar rate, is what really moved this country, and it drives me insane, but it does. But the dollar rate was at 11.2 cities to a dollar, right? And currently now it is at 16 cities. So if you guys can just see the jump between the 11 to the 16, you should know how that would affect business, because when the dollar rate keeps going up, it affects locals a lot. I mean, to the foreigner, you're getting more cities, but you actually spend more money because now everything else goes up. You can literally go to the market and someone would tell you, oh, things are more expensive now because the dollar rate has gone up. Doesn't necessarily mean it affects every sector and everywhere. Not really, but because everyone else is doing it, or because a small group of people that are maybe powerful are doing it, everyone else follows it. So it's a really big deal, and you have to consider that, because it would affect even your rent, especially if you're paying in dollars. And even sometimes if you're paying in cities, landlords will try to equivalent to whatever the dollar is at the moment to get that city amount. So you need to really consider when you're even in the process of putting your business together. You may budget that you want to spend $1,000 on this item, but you might need to up it, because you just never know that when you're ready to actually when you're ready to purchase that item, or you're ready to pay for that bill, things have changed, so the price might go up. So you definitely have to consider inflation. It's a really, really big issue, I have to say, here in Ghana, and it really, really affects business. So if you are thinking of, creating your whole budget and everything, think of inflation. So you might just want to go up in your budget. All right, so another thing that you guys should understand, and when it comes down to doing business here in Ghana, is it is very difficult to find competent and motivated workers. You guys know I love to, I tell the truth. I'm not sugarcoating anything, guys. That is probably one of the biggest thing when you're coming here to start business that you will face. It's definitely a challenge. Trying to find people who would want to work, who are motivated to work, is a thing. A lot of people here say, oh, there's no jobs. There's plenty of work. Will you find the people who are willing to work? Now, something that I recently been hearing a lot too is that a lot of Ghanaians don't tend to want to work for foreigners. So sometimes you may find difficulty there because they believe that you might maltreat them or pay them less. So because of that, they try to stay away from being hired by foreigners. So sometimes that become an issue in finding workers, and which I don't think personally that's an issue for me, but it has been hard trying to find workers, because they either don't want to work, or they want way more than what you can probably afford to pay them. So finding workers could be a challenge, especially those in the food industry. Find that their turnover is super high. There are always people in and out the door, waiters, cookers, those type of jobs are you will always have people coming in and out. It's very hard to secure someone for a long period of time, because not only that, you have businesses and companies from other places also poaching your workers, will come and pretend to be a customer or a client and try to steal your workers. So there's something that you have to consider is, how do you attract the right workers and how do you make them stay? So when you're thinking of, let's say, your employment package or whatever, you want to do your research and find out, in terms of salary, what would be a fair salary, right? What would be a fair salary to keep your worker? What other benefits you can provide to them that maybe others are not providing? And that's pretty much how you can ground your workers to stay with you, because if not, you will find a lot of people in and out your doors. And also another issue is, finding trustworthy people, and that's why a lot of people believe that when you start businesses here, you need to stay and be here. It's very hard to say you want to start and just leave it. Unless you have someone that you can really trust to oversee your business while you're away. But the best way to go about it is to be here. You need to be here to oversee everything that's going on, how you're budgeting, how your money's going in and out, everything, how your customer service is going. So it's really important to be part of that whole process. So finding workers is, it's a big deal, it's important, but it can be very challenging. So you want to keep that in mind when you are thinking of starting business here in Ghana. Last but not least, for today's video, I want to talk about how there is seasons when it comes down to business here. Okay, so let me break it down. So what I'm saying is that there is times in Ghana where things are very, very, very slow, guys. Very slow. And then you have your periods where it's super, super high. And I think it affects all businesses across. So when you are thinking about doing business here, you need to consider that you are not going to make as much money in February as you may make in November. And that's just the matter of fact. And I think that's just business in general. But here you can really actually see how seasons really work here. For example, November, December, January period is what we call the cocoa season. And it's a cocoa season for a lot of people because that is when the most amount of people come back home and foreigners come to Ghana for the holidays. So because of that, everyone at this point is bound to make money if you play your cards right. If you market yourself well, you would definitely make money. And you have businesses that literally make their most money in this period, and they make so much that it can cover them for the rest of the year. So when you're starting business here, you definitely want to consider that when you think about seasons, right? You want to consider how you can market and make your most when there's more people in town, right? So those, for example, that are into Airbnbs, you know that you probably get your most bookings around this time because everyone is looking for somewhere to stay. So most likely you up your prices up, right? So you can get more people, but still make it affordable to be fully booked while people are here. Now, during your low season, you'll find that most of them will drop their prices down. And even for a business like mine, you see that in the beauty industry, a lot of business owners run promos a lot during the slow seasons. And then when it's the pickup season, you up your prices to at least cover for the time being that you weren't really getting that many clients through it out the door. So you really need to understand your business well and understand how seasons work here in Ghana. If not, you will be very, very much frustrated with the fact that you're not, making money as much in a certain period, because maybe you saw yourself making 20,000 cities at a go in 1 month, and in the following month you made 5. Doesn't mean that your business is not good or it's not doing well. It's just that there's seasons, and especially when it comes down to doing business here in Ghana, this is very prominent. So you definitely need to understand this when you come to do business here. So guys, I'm gonna give you a little bit more tips and hacks and stuff for doing business throughout the rest of this month and December, and then we'll see what the new year will bring. But I kind of really wanted to talk about this because, like I said, my business is literally I think a week and some days away from being a year since we opened, and it's been really, really, really exciting, but it's been challenging too, guys. I've never actually ran a business here in Ghana, and even in the States, I've always had little side things. They were never my full-time job. I always had a salary job, and then I'll have little things on the side. So to not have a salary job for a whole year, to be focused on being a boss and running this business, there's a lot of up and downs, there's a lot of challenges, and I'm here, I'm still here. I'm still grateful for everything that I've learned throughout the process. You guys have seen from the beginning, I've been sharing from the beginning of even just starting, building, paying rents, fixing everything in the shop, and it's a lot of work, guys. You guys can see that it's a lot of work. So if this is something that you want to do, just know that you have to be strong, you have to be tough, because there is sometimes where things will happen and you get really frustrated, because you have to learn how business and how things work here specifically. How we have certain things set in the States or in Europe or whatever. You can just go and apply for this, and you go and see this, and you put this into process, or you can mail this and you can do this. Everything's like there's a system that kind of just works, but there's a whole different system here, and you get to learn that as you start finding more information about doing business here, or if you've already even started. Even for those that are not even doing business but are like into the real estate, building their homes, or doing Airbnb, whatever the case may be, there's a lot of difference when you come here. So you definitely need to be equipped and ready for whatever comes at you guys. So I've definitely had very low moments and I've had very high moments, but like I said, you have to just like be tough and keep it going and just figure out what's next to do, and network and research, and always better your craft. And I think that's what's going to help you always stand out. But understanding your market, understanding your niche, understanding how things work here is what's really going to help you overall when you're doing business here in Ghana. So I hope this was helpful and this also motivated someone. I'm not trying to discourage you to not do business, but I want you to understand what it takes. So I hope this was really helpful. Like I said in my previous videos, I am still doing consulting. So if you guys want to set up a call with me to find out more information about what business you can do here, or if you do have an idea and you kind of want to figure out what's the next steps, what's the roadmap to getting this business up and rolling, I am here for you guys. So you guys can reach me on my email. Just look in the description box. My email is below, and you reach out to me and let's have a chat and let's figure out how you can also start your business here in Ghana. So like I said, I hope this was helpful, and I will see you guys on another video.